Hello, everybody. How's your week going? Today I want to talk about Unity because we got a lot going on, and also in the Discord, I did create a new channel to try and promote people being able to get things from each other and help out each other as a community. As things get a little bit more crazy as things go on. So if anybody has noticed the creation of that channel, that's what it's for. If you have anything or you know any sales or anything go on are really good, or you know a way of get some products to some people, help them out, use that channel. Please feel free to use it. Um, just realize I cannot see chat on here. All right. Daytime Frank, yeah. That goes for you too. If you want to, I don't remember if you joined or not yet, Daytime Frank, but if you get in Discord, please use that channel. If you have anything, if you want to just help people with DIY and stuff, there's always that option. I know it's helped me a great deal lately with watching the shows. Daytime Frank, one of them, and a lot of the others, because there's a lot of anxiety going on. We all know this. We're going to see people trying to spread apart as legislation hits, and this is why I'm most concerned about us being united, doing our best to help each other. And you're going to see some people that are just out of aggravation going at each other, and I don't want to see that happen any more than possible. So let's try to always, try to be supportive of one another, and that's what today was all about. Um, I had a little nature walk there because I went through the woods yesterday, and I was like, you know what, I'm getting out my phone. That's the old highway that used to go through my property a long, long time ago, probably 60, 70 years ago. And it goes across my property, and there's a little bridge and everything. And I was just walking up through, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of really loving the way this looks right now. And the way the leaves were crunching, it's like I wanted to put it in there, give everybody a little bit of that chill, relaxing feeling. Um, yeah, I'll actually, while I talk to you, I'll get an invite link for the Discord put up. It'll take me just a second. What have you guys noticed as far as, have you seen some more unity or less unity? Has anybody noticed any changes started yet? Either way, I've seen a little of both. I've seen some people coming really close together, and I've seen some people that have been pulling apart more. And obviously, we want to focus on the pulling together more than apart, but it does happen. I mean, it's the way life goes, unfortunately. Just do the best we can. And of course, it doesn't want to give me. There we go. All right. Like I said, I'm working on this invite link. I want it to be a permanent one, no limit. There we go. Generate the link. That's weird. They have changed something in this. Oh, that's another thing that people might be interested in knowing, that Discord is potentially going to be bought out by Google. So this is something new that is in the works. We will see what happens. But there's the Discord link for anyone who is wants to join. I'm not usually good at this. This is usually John's thing. John is awfully busy at the moment. Whether or not he actually is able to make it back is a questionable situation at the moment, because he has a lot going on in his life at the moment right now. He's working on securing his future and starting a lot of things. So we'll see what happens. I mean, wish him the best. If you guys see him, wish him the best of luck on whatever he does at all times. That's what we need to do, is be positive and help people out as much as we can. All right, so yeah. DIY, yeah, you know what? The DIY community seems to be where I'm seeing it come together. I am seeing a lot of people helping each other a lot in the DIY community. But you're even seeing it split apart a little bit with like flavor stores, flavor houses. One on one being one specific. I don't know. I remember if they bought out or what, but they completely separated from everybody else, and that's not a great thing. Hey, Billy. Yeah, I'll shout out quick before I lose all the chat. So we have Vapor Queen Becky. I saw you in real early. Lady Libber's here. Let's see. We got Jake. Jake's been here. And then we got Daytime Frank, and now Billy's in. A little bit of a quiet night, but there usually is fairly quiet on a Thursday night before, the Grim Green show. Speaking of Grim Green, he will be on this channel on Saturday night, the 3rd. On the 3rd at 9 p.m. We're going to be doing with Texas Mama for our, that's what's behind me here. I put us in the little, right there. There's Grim's. There's me. You'll see it on the thumbnail and stuff. I already have the show link up. But we're going to be talking a little bit about autism awareness for Autism Awareness Month. Obviously, Texas Mama has a daughter named Caitlin, and she's just an amazing person. And that's kind of what we're focusing on, is bringing people together, getting a little awareness out there, and maybe raise a little bit of money for the Autism Awareness organization, whichever one it is. It is in the description. I am not good at remembering which one, so it's better off going there. Yeah. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, whatever John does, great. I would like to see him come back. It wasn't like a permanent situation, but I know he's got a lot going on. He was talking even earlier this year about the fact that by summertime he might get really busy. So we'll see what happens. And also, while I'm bringing up the charity event, there's a major charity event coming up on May 1st and 2nd for the Vaping Misfits on their channel. They're doing a huge charity event, 12-hour live. I will be there for a part of it, but there's going to be a lot of people there, a lot of money being raised, hopefully for different organizations that they have put out, but I haven't got the list in front of me. Again, I'm not good at this without having the list so I can see it. It's a lot to remember when you're dealing with a lot of things, but yeah, shout out to Lynn. Lynn's been helping out a lot of that. Now she's done a lot of the challenges, set up a lot of them, and I guess from what I hear, a lot of them are very scary. So you might get some really good entertainment out of that live. So please go over there on the 1st and 2nd of May and check them out during their live. Other than that, they are on it. Oh, it was 4:30 p.m. Eastern previous to the time change. I'm not sure if that is the same, but they're on Sundays. If you give them a follow and subscribe, it'll tell you when they're coming up on their Sunday show every week as well. That'll be tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Sunday. Today's Thursday. As I said, I've been kind of dealing with a lot of things changing, trying to get my, as you've seen with Nature Walk, I got a lot of work to do around the property. It's a lot of land to deal with. The DIY community has been somewhat pulling together. And then you see, like you said, B&M stores, brick and mortar stores actually really does make sense. Because right now they're competing. We'll have to wait and see what happens, especially here in the U.S. in the end. You're going to wind up seeing whether or not, a brick and mortar is really going to be able to make it. I'm hoping so. And I'm hoping DIY just continues to be just a hobby situation where you can do it as a hobbyist or because you prefer to make your own, but you don't have to. You still have the option to go to brick and mortars. Even my brick and mortar can't even tell me for sure whether or not they're going to be able to make it through this 100%. They're very hopeful, very optimistic, which is a very good thing, but it's possible things might not go well. They have already expanded their skating gear section because of that. If you ever see Bogan's wall, it has all the skateboards on it. Well, our shop has now expanded theirs. It looks almost the same as Bogan's, except for they're on racks, obviously, not just hanging. But it's got that look to it where they're really pushing that side of the store because they don't know exactly what's going to happen. I've seen other stores switch into dual use type situations, and there's even more than that. Brick and mortars are kind of, it makes sense. They're being very targeted. They feel targeted at the moment. They're going to probably lash out a little bit more, sadly. Yeah, Caitlin is absolutely awesome. She's a sweetheart. Who knows? She might even do a little appearance during the show. It's possible. She has done it before. It's not the first time. She just doesn't really love the camera either. As we all know, that's not an easy thing. I know Lynn understands very well about that. She doesn't mind the camera when she's in a small group, but being on camera in front of a live, I get it. The anxiety is there. And I might not show it as often as you guys think, but it's there for me as well all the time. It does get easier the more you spend on there, but the anxiety is not gone. More of the anxiety is before the show. I think if you guys watch Grim Crane, you've seen him talk about it before the show. Sometimes you almost feel like not going on. And then by the time you're done, you feel so good about the fact you did. It's a huge, huge difference. Start thinking, by the way, we need new emojis. This banana balls thing for him is great, but we need a new one for this week. We need something new and a little bit of change in the situation. My mustache is doing like a lopsided weird thing, if you guys notice. I have no idea why. So there you go, Jake. It's not just your lip. Everything's going weird today. Yeah, being on a flat rock here. It was like that here this morning. It was raining and everything was dreary, and then the sun just popped out and it got really warm. It's in the 70s, low 70s right now, which is weird. It's actually kind of getting warm in the house. I'm gonna have to turn the AC on, but you don't want to do that because it's gonna get cold tonight. That's There you go. Devil's. Oh God. Yeah. Uh, by the way, when it comes to it, if you guys didn't catch it too, there was a charity live that you could. The link will still work. For Fresh 03 did a live. I know that Daytime Frank was there, so he knows. But we did a lot. He did a live for Dogs on Deployment, which is a way to take care of pets for people while they do help take care of pets for people while they're on deployment, so that they know their loved ones. The pets are their loved one. They're being taken care of while they're gone, and it's a donation. He did a charity live, like a 4-hour charity live on it. I was there, and Fresh actually paid for me to try lambus bread. I will say, one shot lambus bread, no recommend. It tastes way too much like something else that we've had talked about on the channel before about Lee's milkshake shack. Yeah, not something you really want to try. In most cases, I mean, if it's your thing, go for it. If it's your thing, I got a whole bottle of flavoring here that I'm willing to mix up for you. Just let me know. Yeah. Sunlight, dark and gray. Yeah, I was like that this morning. I was feeling really groggy and sleepy this morning, Jake. And then the sun came out and it kind of woke me up. Like until about an hour ago, I just felt like I was trying to get the ambition to get on and start the live and get ready for it. And until that sun poked out, I didn't feel it. And I think it's that springtime blues when you get that weird wet weather and the melting of the snow, and it sets into your joints and stuff. I've had multiple surgeries on my knee and shoulder, and I feel that. I feel that a lot when this weather changes. And I am due to get my cortisone shots, but I haven't gotten in yet. That's my fault. I just haven't set up the appointment. Guess I was kind of just enjoying the weather, trying to when it was nice, and not even thinking about it. Dumb on me. I can only blame myself for that. Yeah, Lady Liberty actually got sick off that. If anybody's wondering, I want to watch his a very interesting. I'm sure I did not watch it back because it's weird watching yourself on video, but I'm sure my face got a little weird when I tasted that liquid, and I know that she actually got sick. I mean, she had a migraine as well going on starting, but that did not help. It's not exactly a pleasurable experience. If you guys can't hear, the bikes have been going by today a lot. And they're echoing for some reason. I think it has to do with what Jake was saying about that wetness in the air. If you ever notice when trees get wet in the spring, they like echo. They make everything magnified. It's a weird sensation, but it's kind of nice and kind of cool. But yeah, it's very annoying. Like if you're on the phone outside this time of year and you're walking, if someone drives by you, you can't even hardly hear them. And vice versa. They can hear nothing but the noise. I was talking this morning to Texas Mama actually about the show, and I had a hard time hearing her because I was outside walking and taking care of the animals. Did anybody like that video of the walk through the woods? Because I was thinking not as in part of the show, but more in terms of like doing things like that, like maybe standalones. If someone just wants to relax and whatever, do a few walks, maybe some motorcycle riding. But this way here you can choose. Now it doesn't become a part of the show unless you wanted it to be. So you'd have a choice. I mean, not everybody loves motorcycle riding. Some people actually it bothers them. And same with, I don't know about too many people that absolutely hate nature, as long as they don't have to touch it. I mean, touching nature is a different situation, or being in it. I know Jake actually is constantly working with wood, so he'd probably enjoy nature. He probably does on his own, I'm sure. If anybody hasn't seen, he's got this new C-frame device he's making, where it goes together like a C-frame, like I forget the new Lost Vape ones that they have, but it's got the C-frame pull-off. And he's working on that, and it kind of looks like a treasure chest. It has like a really cool, simple design, and not simple to make. From what I saw of him making it, it isn't as simple as you'd think. It just looks simple, but it's something different, a little bit out of the realm of what you normally see Jake make, a little bit more mellow. Because Jake is really does a lot of very colorful, very colorful designs. Yeah, just looking for giant knots. That actually is interesting. I mean, there are some very knotty trees out there. Just walking out there on the road, and that road, like I said, goes all the way through the third of the property, and comes back out on the road. It actually comes out by this side of the pond over here, where you saw the pond when I panned to the right. If you walk back behind me some, that's where it starts. But it comes out and swings back around to the road that you saw across from the pond where you see the guardrails. And there's actually a dam over there. It's actually an excellent trout fishing pond. It's just a nice place to hang out. Sometimes I just walk over to the bridge and just sit on the bridge and just listen to the water run. It's just such a relaxing feeling. Every now and then when you're stressed out, you go for a walk. And there's another 6 acres on the other side I can walk as well. But it's just, we got to get out and do things. You can't get out and do things. You try to do as best you can. I mean, sometimes just watching, like even in the wintertime, I found myself this winter watching some motorcycle riding videos, and it was helping me feel better. Yeah, Bugs and Addie knows what I'm talking about. He lives in upstate New York. Well, kind of, yeah, pretty much upstate. I'll call you upstate. You're close enough. I mean, you are upstate. You're just in the other area. But yeah, Addie, upstate New York. That's where I grew up. I mean, right next to Forever Wild. It was on the other side of the road from where I grew up. So I'm used to the woods. I tried living in the city. It was not for me. It just, no. I'd rather deal with the animals than that many people around. And, the more people you get around like that, the more rude they tend to be. That's the issue. It's kind of like right now we got the community. We could see it go in two directions. We might see people going against each other, a lot of them, or we might see people trying to unify. And I'm hoping we still get the unification, but my fear is there's going to be a little bit of separation between the countries, because you have all the other countries aren't quite affected directly by legislation like the U.S. is about to be with the mail ban, but yet you are, because you got all the with UPS and what am I thinking? Yellow. With the mail bans that they're putting in place for themselves. It's going to be a big issue for others as well. Plus, getting stuff out of the U.S. Some people really like the U.S. with liquids. They tend to be a little more sugary. Maple Bros on property where I work. I want them badly. Yeah, we got here. Last year I made maple syrup. I didn't bother this year because with taking the metformin now and stuff, I can't have as much of it, and I still got a lot left from last year. And I don't have a good evaporator, so I made it on a wood stove last year, and it takes a long time on a wood stove. Yeah, I'm having a brain fart. With that said, we do have, I am going to look forward to, we have a lot of maple trees I didn't even tap. Within the next couple of years, you'll probably see some maple syrup being produced here, because we have enough of them on the property to make it worthwhile. I could make probably a few 50 to 100 gallons just off the property. Just a question of having the good evaporator to do it. I'm not going to sit there and spend literally every moment of every day dealing with it. Maple syrup made yourself is nothing like it. You can make it exactly the way you like it. And it was, you see, backwards. I'm trying to figure out which eyebrow it is down, which one's up. Sorry, guys. It's been a really bit of an insane day. Finding out that John is going to be a little busy for a while, and we don't know where he's coming back. I'll admit, it did affect me a little bit, not in a bad way. I'm happy for him, but at the same time, it's, you start to think, it's like, this is a tough thing to do, to get on here every week, twice a week, and to try and be a positive person and try to be surrounded, continue that positivity is a little bit straining sometimes, especially when things go south. I'm not one to give up, so I'm not looking at it in a negative way. I do believe eventually we'll get back what we lost to some degree. It's just we got a fight ahead of us to get there. In the meantime, we need to just draw back, accept what we can, figure out ways to help each other. That's one of the reasons why I put that channel in the Discord, was because there may be times where you cannot get things yourself without help. So please read out to there. I saw that KVTV put a link up for getting some coils from them. I know Duchess Coils has been doing it. I know I probably shouldn't even mention that, but at the same time, they've got this. It's a good place to get really good quality coils, is through these people that we know. They've been friends of the show. They've been friends of mine for a while, and it's very important. I mean, think of also helping people out in places it's hard for them to get things. If you happen to be taking a trip to New York and you know someone there, offer to help them out if you can, if you're in a place that you can get the products that they really need or want. This is the best way to help each other. It started off person to person. It started off one person helping another. It wasn't always shops. It wasn't always brick and mortars. It took a while to build to that point. And now we're back at that point, unfortunately, in some ways, in some areas. And until we can change legislation, which is going to take some time, I hate to compare it to the cannabis industry, but if you really truly think about it, the cannabis industry was demonized similarly, falsely in a lot of ways, and yet it took decades and decades and decades for them to get it back. They were in a digital age. I don't think we're going to have to wait that long. The biggest thing I've found from going to hearings and talking to senators is they would rather hear your story than a bunch of science that they don't care about. They don't want to try and look into it because, as I was told, there are two sides of the science. They have the antis have their science, the pros have their science. They don't have the time to look and see which one's which. They don't care to because it's not really a thing. It's easier for them to ban it than it is not to. So you got to give them a reason not to ban. The biggest reason not to ban anything is to tell them what it does for you, how it helps you, how your life has changed, how your life is better for it. That when you have an alternative that actually is, healthier, brings you together, makes you happier. And yes, I am focused very much on the vape community lately, again, because I do feel that that's the community I need to focus on right now. This doesn't mean that other things are less important. It means that this industry is in a serious flex right now, in a flux situation that really needs to be focused on still. We aren't done. We're not over. If you're here, everyone I know here is pretty much a hobbyist. Hobbyists will make it through. We'll figure out a way. But the thing is, we don't want to kill it for the people that aren't hobbyists. There's still people going to die every day because they didn't find it. Didn't find vape over, smoking combustible tobacco. It's a sad truth. It's something that we should never give up on. Never stop talking about it. It's going to be hard. The media is not beneficial to us. It's actually been remarkably anti. Watching you can't turn on a show. You can't turn on Hulu. You can't turn on Netflix without seeing an anti-vape ad. And they're always the ones that just make you want to rage out because there's no truth to the science that they are claiming. And this is a tough thing to try and you go to a hearing, you got to let that go. Hardest thing in the world is to let that go because inside you just want to just rip them apart when they start talking about these. They see the ads. The senators are seeing the ads as well. They're also seeing the media, all the fake headlines, it's not always fake headlines. Sometimes they're just misleading headlines. Somewhere in the article, it'll probably tell you the truth. But unfortunately, that's a little ad lib in the middle of a bunch of BS. And we need to focus on being united through this. That's what the Unity show was for today. It's being united as a front still. It's going to be harder. It's hard not to like want to rage out, and then you hold it in, and then that's why I think you see a lot of companies and individuals going at each other instead of focusing on the positives or working forward. It's a really tricky time. It's really hard, and this is why I suggest, try to distract yourself. Find things that you love to do. Go and do them. If you can't get out and do them, seriously, look up on YouTube or another social media, or watch videos or something of what you love. It might not give you exactly the same feeling, but it'll give you a little of that feeling back. And even the slightest little change can make a huge difference. There is a squirrel harassing the chicken. That's funny. Yeah. The chicken has got a little attitude. She's kind of spoiled. She's the only one left of the original batch. The only chicken left, period, right now, because we didn't bother replacing them this year. And yeah, just starting to use the term harm reduction, and it became a lot more mainstream for that reason. I feel like we're getting our asses kicked right now. We are. Right now, we are. We're not winning the battles. But if anyone is watching, the cards are not stacked evenly against us. There are very, very much like pre-made hands stacked against us. And Bloomberg, I hate to bring up that name, but has definitely been a major, major factor in this. Because of his control of so much of the mainstream media, it has made it very, very difficult for us to move forward. And then he managed to get people on board like Cuomo, unfortunately, in the U.S., United States, U.S., yeah, New York. And Baker, which was pulled under Cuomo, actually, when he had his meeting with the surrounding governors. You see, they did the whole mouth-to-mouth thing too, but they just knew how to do it because they've been around each other longer. What the senators that have changed their minds about that I have talked to is when they hear people's personal stories, when they hear what their life was like before, not being able to climb a flight of stairs, and the next thing, hey, Lethal, next thing you know, these people are able to, bicycle, exercise, things that they couldn't do before. Like I talk about that triathlon guy that was with the triathlon guy that came into the shop, the older guy that we didn't know had so many health problems before, but he really did. And it's kind of amazing when we saw him come in. He came in complaining about the flavor ban, the first one when 9/11 was going on. The 9/11 situation started, and to hear him yell and be so angry over it, it's like, flavors, if I didn't have flavors, I wouldn't be doing this, and I wouldn't be able to ride my bicycle. I had problems climbing a flight of stairs to my apartment. And that's something to be said. Now, that story is one I brought up during that New Hampshire meeting when I had it, and it was one of the ones that they listened to and understood. And it was backed up by others in my group that they were there and heard it, so that actually helped. By the way, there's a link if anyone wants to get in here today and talk about what they view about it. I would not mind hearing some of your opinions on this, on the unity and the importance of it. And maybe places where you see the unity is breaking apart that maybe we can try and help somehow. It's important to stick together in times of adversity. And it's one of the hardest things you could ever do. Like I said, the DIY community, I have seen it. It's actually pulling together tighter. You're seeing the shows that, even competing shows, so to speak, are talking to each other, bringing each other on, and trying to keep that community so tight and knit together. It's my favorite place to be right now. I've actually, when I watch lives, I always love those ones the best. But when you're talking about advocacy, it's not an easy thing to do, because what do you do? And here comes somebody. What do you do? Seriously, with everything going on. Like, hold on a second. Let's let Jake get in here and see what his thoughts on some of this is. Fortunately for him, what he does is very unique and special. I don't think anyone would ever go after Jake.
seeing as I'm just a normal guy, doing this as a hobby, I'm not considered a business or anything else like that. My biggest issue is a lot of these, a lot of the bigger name YouTubers right now are becoming very defeatist, and that's not helping the cause very much at all. Like you got your Jay Hayeses and stuff of that nature. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can
Just
hear you just fine. You're coming through
okay.
good.
Um, yeah, new headset, but no, like Jay Hayes, everything's done. Everything, why are we fighting this? It's like, well, what's the point then? I don't. I'm going to continue doing what I do. I'm going to continue to support those who want to help themselves.
Yep.
Um, I am not going to be one of these people that team free crap all the time. But and of course, every time you come around, there's going to be somebody going, "Oh, I want that, I want that, I want that." I'm like, no, you got to be willing to fight for it, because if you're not willing to fight for it, you don't. Yeah, there's no reason to be fighting between us. There's no reason to be down on somebody else because they're down. It's like, yeah,
Oh,
my
as far as
random
coming
thoughts
into
of the day.
yeah, and come into the convo whenever you want, Lethal. That's why the link is there. I mean, I want to hear other people's points of view on this as well because it's important. It is a hobby aside is actually where we still have our strongest advocacy. It's where we have our most stories, direct stories to what it's done to your health. It's also the place where people still have the heart.
Right.
Businesses being crushed right now by all this legislation. It's hard to keep a positive outlook. You can kind of, if you really put yourself in Jay's shoes, his business that he built for himself is really never, not any time in the near future, ever going to be the same. I mean, five,
No,
10 years out, maybe, but
I
five,
I,
10 years
under,
out,
I
that's all.
understand. I understand where he's coming from, though. He had people that came into the shop regularly, but he also did a lot of online sales.
Yep.
And, having that taken away, yeah, I can understand how, that, and seeing this New Jersey shut down all the shops anyways, that was his only sales. So I can understand why, he's angry and bitter about it. But for the rest of us, he needs to understand, granted, he might not be able to conduct business as usual, but he can still support those of us that are still trying to fight to keep his said business alive, you know,
Yeah.
and that I I just can't back somebody that's willing to just well, it's done, it's over. I can't do it anymore
You can't do much to
because
change someone's mind when they get to that point. You just can't. And
right,
but you can understand why he feels that way. It's like literally Jersey kind of did the most messed up job. They wouldn't let you sell within your own state anymore. You had to ship out of state, and then they shut down the mail order. It's like, now what?
right. Well, hell, I got scared the other day. I took it and I ordered because I do mix my own. I ordered Nick River or whatever. They were doing a sale,
Yep.
and I bought a liter of 250 milligram nicotine from them. I've never used them before, and all of a sudden I get a delay on my shipping package. I was like, oh no, what's going on? And it stayed that way for like a day and a half. I was like, oh, why is it delayed? And then it finally started moving again, and I was like, whew. Well, I hope
We had
I'm
this.
glad you.
We had the same thing. That fear because we ordered some things, some hardware. Like I ordered the
Right,
two Gruses, and the worst part was it was vape sourcing, and they decided that next day they changed their website, and you couldn't log in to your old account to check and see where your order was. So I was like in panic mode the whole time. And we had the
right.
new mail carrier that was delivering to wrong houses. Last time that
Oh
happened, we
Jesus.
lost a mail order of juice. So it's like, yeah, I understand that really wholeheartedly what that's
Yeah.
like. And
Well, I was stocking up on Nick because, from what I understand, like Bull City Flavors, Wizard Labs, and stuff like that, they're not being affected by this.
nope, That's what I'm.
Uh,
The only one it kind of is because they changed ownership. I think the one on one they have kind of
right,
separated,
right.
which might be temporary, but it's definitely a factor because there are some flavors that like people like to get just from them.
Yeah,
Uh,
the only flavor I've ever liked from them was they had it tasted like the strawberry candies,
oh, those
like
little red ones we
the
used to wrap up.
like the little red ones that
Oh,
are in the strawberry wrapper. They have a flavor that tastes exactly like that, and it was amazing by itself, but it didn't mix well with anything else. But it literally tasted like one of those little candies, and
okay, she's right. It
that
was Everzen. Vape sourcing actually did give us tracking numbers, and it did work. Okay, that's right.
okay.
Okay, but still, they changed their site the next day, and yeah, it kind of makes you scared and nervous about this, and
Yeah,
it's
well,
tough.
I've dropped a $150 on nicotine over the last couple of weeks, and yeah, $150, that's quite a bit of money. That's at least a half day's worth of work, and I don't want to.
Yep.
that,
Yeah.
that's one thing I try to teach my kids. Look at what you want to buy and how much you make an hour, and then say, is 8 hours of my life worth what I'm buying? Because that's essentially what you're doing. Is you're basically spending the hours of your life to buy something.
Yep. And we have
And
treasures in the community like Addie. I'm not trying to make you blush, Addie, but seriously, you are a glue that holds so many together. It's not. It's like beyond believable how much you do that, and that means a
Addie is
lot.
just everywhere.
Yep. But he is kind of the glue that holds some people together that wouldn't normally. They would probably fall out of place a little bit if he wasn't there. I mean, it's
Right.
sad, but it's true.
Addie's one of those people that he's been around for a very long time. Pretty much everybody in the vape community knows who he is. Um, and and he's one of those people that's always, hey, how are you doing? You know, welcoming. That's the words I'm thinking of. Well, very very welcoming even to new people.
Yep.
Like you don't have to be well known or even brand new to a channel, and he'll, hey, how you doing, or put your name in a list, or all that kind of good stuff. And
Yeah, the first time you ever see Addie put your name in the chat, it's like, and then and then after a while, it's like, oh, thank you, Addie.
thank you,
So,
Addie.
yeah,
I'm glad you still see me.
yeah, yeah. It's an amazing thing to see people like Addie that have been at this so long, and you think about it, Addie and the Grim Greens, they've been around forever fighting for this.
Right.
They have seen some bad times. Yes, granted, this is different, but this gives us
Well,
an idea where we stand better than that. I mean, it's almost like eventually here soon, we're going to know where it stands. We're going to know
right.
exactly what we need to fight for. We haven't, from what even my time in the vaping community, we have not seen that. We haven't had actual place to fight. We have had to guess on what they're going to do, what they're trying to do, and pick and choose our fights. But it's hard to do when you have a broad spectrum. Now we can narrow down and really focus on the true issues we can fight for. So
I'm
I,
I'm going on I'm going on 10 years
wow,
in vaping. And it wasn't until probably I'd say 7 years ago that I actually found out, hey, there's other people like online and videos and stuff of that nature. I was like, because I was by myself, I didn't know anything about it. And my biggest deal is having that information to be able to do everything myself, because I lived out in the middle of nowhere, Kansas. You know, I lived in a little town called Goff, Kansas. Cell phones don't even work there.
hi Tyler.
So, and for me to become a vapor, even out there in the middle of nowhere, the only thing I get is gas station stuff. But it got me off the cigarettes. I got my dad into doing it, and he every morning he was 63, nope, 64 at the time. and he smoked 2.5 to 3 packs a day. And from the time I was a little kid, he's my stepdad. And from the time I was like 4 years old, 2.5 to 3 packs a day for my entire life. I watched him try pills, patches, gum, acupuncture, hypnotist, everything. Until I got him his first vape, he never attempted to actually, like, it never stuck. Like, he would quit for a little bit and then it would go. So
The dog fell asleep. If you guys can hear snoring, the dog's sleeping. So, um, apologize. Can't really do much about it. She's not staying awake. She's been lazy today. It's the weather, like we were talking about earlier. It was really rainy earlier, and then the sun came out, and now it's just been one of those weird days.
yeah,
But
rainy days are just. I'm thinking it's human nature. We see rain and pretty much, oh, we can't go hunting and we can't go gathering.
true.
So it's like my phone decided it was going to start ringing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at the end. I'm at the end of the day, and I'm for some reason I have 15 to 20 calls a day of the whole. Is there our we're calling you to relieve your student debt. I'm like, I didn't go to college, so
Lady Liberty's never owned a car. She doesn't drive, but they still keep calling her for about her extended warranty on her car. It's like she's
right.
never, yeah. So yeah, we
Like,
know this.
where did you get my number from?
Yeah. It happens every spring. Anytime there's any money coming, stimulus checks are out, and all of a sudden they're really
Right,
pushing again. Yeah, they do it during
right,
tax season too. They'll start calling you up. She got that phone call there and give her a heart attack the first time when they called her about telling her she owed like $5,000 to the IRS, had to pay it on credit card. It's like
right,
I don't have that kind of money. It's like that's because they would IRS isn't going to call your phone and tell you have to pay them with a credit card. That's not the
right.
IRS.
Either that or they're gonna uh, they want everything on an iPhone gift card.
Yep.
Like, does that not throw a few red flags
Oh,
to
I
somebody?
think he even said Microsoft gift cards. Like, why would a Microsoft gift card pay my taxes? That's not gonna.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when the government starts asking for Bitcoin, that's when I'm gonna,
Yeah, they have been doing that. The cryptocurrency thing, and that's what created this big thing. I think that started with the cryptocurrency issue. It was
right.
because of the fact that they were talking about trying to pay your debts with crypto. It's like, okay, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see.
Well, I might buy a Tesla with crypto, but that's about it. Because I think right now that you can buy a Tesla with 100 Bitcoins.
There you go,
Now,
guys.
I wish I could go back to 2006 and buy them when they were like 15 cents a piece.
This crypto has been coming up a lot at our local lounge, at local shop, where they talk
Right.
about it constantly. It's like it's amazing what it has done in some places, but now is not. I mean, you should have gotten into it before. Now it's not really the time, unfortunately. But
Right.
yeah, it's like if you bought Microsoft back in the day or Apple at the right time, you could be a billionaire now. So
Yeah, I don't know what your guys' gas prices are out there, but
it's going up. It is going up.
yeah,
The Texas thing is going to happen. That's also where I think a lot of the shortages for PG are coming from because it's made from the gas, the distillates from the
right.
gasoline.
Oh,
We'll see an end of that. Like Addie was talking about it a few times here about that, and it is important that if you need it, get it before get a little bit of enough to get you through now before it goes up even more because it will before you know how gas prices go. Oh, it's going way up
right,
before they go down, and then give
right.
yourself like 3 to 6 months and things will be normal again. And it's not going to
Well,
be not ungettable, not PG and VG. They'll be
for
available.
for anybody who's actually curious, if you have a Tractor Supply
Yep.
or a say like somebody that puts out products for say like farm and ranch, PG is available there, and it is the same exact PG that you can buy from all the major retailers, except for cattlemen are, well, cattle owners and stuff like that use it as a oh, what is it? Basically, if they're blocked up, they use it as a
Diuretic.
well, not
Oh, not
diuretic,
diuretic, not diuretic. For
laxative.
constipation, yeah, laxative. That's it. Yeah, yeah. There is,
Momentary lapse in sanity. It
yeah,
happens to
yeah,
the best of us.
yeah,
I'm kind of glad I have a small car going home.
yeah. I did notice that. I've been looking into the VG and PG to see if they're the same, and you can get those at other sources, and they are the same quality. The one where you got to worry about is nicotine, because don't trust the farm nicotine. It could have additives in it that could be dangerous to you,
Right, right.
because it's used as a
Uh,
pesticides. It's not guaranteed that it's pure for consumption, because it's used to actually
right.
kill things. So you got to be careful there. Really strongly disrecommend using that. You could wind up with your actual vape
Yeah.
deaths. So
VG has been, the thing is like, get that, or your nicotine, definitely get that from a reputable, there it is.
reputable
uh
person.
a
Place.
reputable company or distributor, because that's something that you do not take your chances on. VG, on the other hand, VG can be oil or palm derived. Uh,
Yep.
like, well, it is palm derived, or palm or corn derived, but that's
Yep.
been used in the beauty soap industry for years. So that'll always be available.
It's also used in
Um,
some foods too, as well.
right, right.
Yeah.
They use it as kind of like a semi sweetener sometimes. Um, your PG has been used, in cattle and stuff like that for years. That's all USP, USP graded 99.9%, whatever. And yeah, that's what I've used for years, is the stuff that they make or that they use for cattle.
Yep. Yeah. The palm
Oh,
derived actually has like a sweeter flavor to it, actually. Um,
yeah, I've always used the palm derived because it it's smoother to me for some reason.
agreed. Agreed. Lee's got his new emojis in the chat. He's got a little Lee's milkshake hut thing going on there. But yeah, the legend is here. Yeah, you
Oh
guys,
Jesus! I'm
and
surprised he hasn't popped in here yet.
he just got
He
here.
he loves the Zoom.
He does. He's another one that's been really reaching out to everybody. He's been kind of pulling a little bit of the community together as well.
Yeah.
And we need to do this. Oh, you see that? Ladybugs. They're starting to come in the house. That's fun. Uh,
Is it a ladybug or is it an Asian beetle? There's a difference.
that's a good question. That is a
Asian
very good
beetles
question.
bite.
Yep.
The ladybugs do not.
These ones have not been biting, so I think it's just ladybugs.
Yeah,
And they do
we
look
have they look very similar, except for
right,
they normally look like an orange or a yellow instead of a red.
right.
Yep.
Hey, Lando.
Yeah. A lot of useless information that I know.
Yeah, we got. Speaking of, just letting you guys know too, this Saturday is going to be a gaming day because the following week is that live for the autism awareness. I want to do a real fun gaming day before that started because it's been stressful around. I'm seeing people stressed out because of everything coming. And I just thought, if I'm gonna focus on autism awareness next month, so it's gonna be. I want to have a fun day before that starts for everybody, and we're gonna try something new.
There's
If you guys can get in to the Zoom and we get enough people in Zoom to play, I will try a few of the games that are geared more towards the players that can immediately without the lag. Like we're going to talk about espionage, which I can't play unless we're in the Zoom together. Is the only way we could play it. If you
right.
try to do it online, that 30 seconds, 15, 20, 30 seconds delay is going to just destroy it for some people. It would be any fun. So,
Right.
yeah, that's something I would like to try if we can get a few people in. So, if
I
anybody's
don't know. I don't know why my boy got me into Among Us.
That is a fun game. My daughter got me to play it a little bit. It's fun. Um, just having the time to play it because you can get into some serious hours and disappear with like for a day on that if you're not
Yeah,
careful.
it's
Yeah.
it's one of those things that you got to be very, very careful, or you will miss some days. I know, like, well, I tried. I got a 5-year-old daughter, and we just bought her a Nintendo Switch, and she has Minecraft on there, and I have it on free play so she can do whatever she wants because she's really into like Legos and stuff like that. But I've noticed here recently that if she gets into it, she tunes out the world. Like you can't get her attention at all.
Yep.
And I tried to stay away from that because I got two teenage boys that literally the only time they come out of their bedroom is one to go to school and two because either they need to use the bathroom or raid the refrigerator. So
And Tyler, how are you? You're asking Lethal how he's doing. How are you, Tyler? So it just, yeah, it's you you guys are family to me now. You know that. I mean, I hope you know that. You become part of my family. I mean, I talk to you guys more than I do my family. Truth. And
right.
it matters to me so much. Like Lando, actually, we talk quite a bit. So he's like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Well,
yeah,
don't you guys have a show together?
yeah. We're gonna be We're gonna be
Exactly.
recording tonight. We're recording tonight.
So I feel like the odd man out. It's like I'm the third wheel here.
Lethal and I shared a bed this past year, so
Hey, what happens in DC
I
stays in
bet you
DC.
did.
Now, who was the big spoon and who was the little spoon?
Actually, I laid flat down, so there was no spoon.
yeah.
Oh shit!
We didn't
was a
sleep for
nine-
very long anyway, to be honest with you.
Oh God,
It was
we were
a-
up so late just talking.
It was a 96, huh?
No, you guys,
It was a 68 and he owes me one.
it means so much to me that what we brought together. Like Lethal, when we were in DC, what we got to do there, spending time together as a family, that meant as much as the rally. The rally, if we're
Absolutely.
really looking back at it, we had no chance in hell of actually making a true difference, but we couldn't not try, because if you don't try, then you automatically fail. You can't stop trying. Even
Right.
if the outlook looks bleak. They were just reflecting what they did to cigarettes back in the 80s. That's all they've done so far. We just don't like it because we know we're safer. So it's
Right.
more of like a slap to the face. We're not killing
I
people.
think
They just
I
make it
think
look
the
like
biggest thing is whenever those rallies actually happen, and the first time whenever we actually got Trump to back down from the flavor bans,
The
we
first
were patting
round.
we were patting ourselves on the back and everything else like that. And then all of a sudden, it's like, well, our voices aren't being heard. And why are they not being heard now? And I don't think I don't think, I think our representatives are so detached from normal people, everyday people, that they don't understand exactly what this will do to not just the industry, but to people in general.
Mhm.
And I think that's the reason why a lot of people are just like, well, we can't do anything, so let's go ahead and just give
Well-
up. This was an experiment, and
I also
the
think
experiment
that-
failed. And I think that's the mindset that a lot of people have.
Well, I think a lot of people also forget, and they view this as just an attack on vaping, the regulation thing, and it's not. A lot of people seem to forget this is also about your right to choose.
Yep.
Right.
This isn't just about it, and I think if more people remembered that, we'd probably see a lot more people fighting too.
And they demonize nicotine. They demonize nicotine. Well, the thing is the nicotine isn't what's killing people.
Nicotine's in both. It's a mute subject. I've been trying to say this for a long.
Yeah.
Well, Lethal, you've heard me
Right.
say it before. If it's in one and the other, one version of the situation safer than the other. It's like driving two different cars with the same motor, but you're wearing a seatbelt in one, not in the other. It's the same thing. What
It's like having
difference
brakes in one car and not
Not
having
in the
brakes
other.
in the other.
Yeah.
One that runs on gas and one that runs on biofuel. You know, one's safer for the environment, but
Yep.
same.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another whole story.
Yeah,
Right
yeah. Well,
Don't get me started on biofuel. Yeah. They put
well,
ethanol
I mean, like the vegetable oil
every
stuff.
time it. See, the thing is like they put ethanol in all the diesel around here. It
Yeah.
drops below 15 degrees, and literally I'm having to replace 2 fuel filters and possibly two fuel pumps
Every
every
year
time.
I've had in the last couple of years because I've been putting so much ethanol in, I've had to replace the fuel filters on the tractor. I'm glad I bought a
Yep.
multiple pack because otherwise I would have been screwed again this year. Middle of the winter, we got that big snowstorm and my tractor was going. Bleh, 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 bleh. It's like, oh god. You have to
Everything
put it in,
jellos up.
let it just run for a minute without any weight on the motor until it warmed up again and it warm up the filter enough, and then you could go for a minute and then do it again. It's like, oh
Yep.
yeah.
That gelled up fuel clogs up the filter, and then you can't do nothing. But
And that's
yeah,
with using an
that's
anti-gel.
that's a completely different subject, and it's way off track.
It is way off track. But no, this year is. I mean, we always got to fight for what we believe in, but we know
Right.
that it makes a huge difference if you believe in it. I think we focus a little too much on the business part of it, and the business part of it's what's really been. Like I said, when I talked to the senators, they actually responded well to talking about stories about people, about the people that come in the shop and the things that they go through and the things that are different for them. The people in my family that have switched, my friends that have switched and talked about what it's done for them. They listen to that because that's a personal thing. But they see the news and the media just like we do. They see it just like everybody else. What rages us, they don't know enough not to believe.
Well, our biggest issue is we have so many people that are up there in DC doing the whole lobby thing, and you have all this money, like at what is it? Crap, I can't even remember what the hell the name of the one that says tobacco free kids.
Oh,
You have so much money being pumped into guys, literally people just up there. Can I have a moment of your time? Can I have a moment of your time? And they literally pay those guys to live there and talk to them. And our thing is this is a consumer driven, we literally made it from the ground up. Vaping came from people like modifying flashlights to create vaporizers. I seen a guy down in Australia.
If anybody knows this is the perfect person to talk to.
Right. Driven.
whoop.
There you go.
I might be lagging a little bit. I apologize.
It's all right. But we
See,
got
the thing
right.
is like there's a guy down in Australia. He literally made everything out of a piece of wood and 2 pieces of copper sticking out of the top that they put screws in to make a atomizer out of. These things are literally from the ground up. We made these. Us as we push this this whole industry through. Everything, granted, we do have some big Chinese companies, but normally any innovation that we have comes from an individual.
You think
working their way
dead?
into it.
If you really think innovation's dead, think about 10 years ago when they thought, oh, this can't get any better. Look at it now.
Oh, Jesus.
Give it another 10 years. You don't think it's going to improve. That's just the way that this industry works. We're always looking for a safer way to do things, a more reliable way to do things.
We're always looking for the next greatest thing.
Yep. And regulation actually is kind of making it so we're having to backtrack. Like the rebuildable situation. we're being forced to do that because we don't know if we're going to be able to get things, and we won't know until this all falls down into place where we stand. But then we know
Right.
where to fight. Then we'll have our eyes set. We won't be looking wide open. We'll have our blinders on and be able to focus on actual. This might give us the advantage if we really stay focused. We could get an advantage here to finally
The,
know what the hell we're fighting for.
now I've been in this type of situation in an actual war, and the problem is we're literally trying to follow rules of engagement that are being put forth by the people that we're fighting. And our biggest issue is they're coming at us with guerrilla tactics, and we have absolutely no idea where they're coming from. Until we actually know where they stand and what what's the words I'm trying. I know what I want to say. It's there.
We're in the same situation. If you talk to vets that were in Vietnam, it's the same idea. We
Right.
have all these confinements and chains linked to us we're not allowed to do, but at the same time we don't really know what our exact goal is or how we're supposed to get there. And that's where we're at.
Exactly.
That's why it's the only war we technically didn't win. Although they say we didn't lose it, we did. But um, it was a war that was unwinnable in the situation because of what we had
Right.
to deal with, and we're in that same type of war right now, just not physically.
Our rules of engagement are literally being put forward by the people that are trying to take us out. And the problem is we don't have equal footing on this. We don't have the voice up there. We have the science. We have doctors in the UK. We have the UK literally putting vape shops in hospitals, saying switch to vaping. We want you to switch to vaping. Their entire countries are like their health systems. We want you to do this. Unfortunately, with the United States, we have the biggest issue of literally every healthcare company is for profit.
We have
Now,
everybody
Private
can't let
insurance.
themselves go and become obsolete because otherwise they lose money. It's like the Cancer Society can't really cure cancer because then it wouldn't have a need to exist. So we
right.
have that going on, and then we have people like Bloomberg who are trying to do a side hustle and completely got all kinds of money to throw at it. And we saved big tobacco, but to be honest with you, right now, big tobacco is saving our ass in this state for the flavor ban. They are doing most of the
Bloomberg,
work.
Bloomberg, I have literally come to the conclusion that he is trying to set a legacy for himself.
I believe so.
Be it,
I've seen that too.
he's getting to that egotistical point in his life to where he says, "I need to do something so I am remembered."
Yep. He
And
tried to
I
become
think that's
president. That didn't work. So now he's trying. He's still
yeah,
pushing back on this again. And I do believe
yeah,
that's what it is. He wants to be remembered for doing something major in his life. And
right,
unfortunately, we're the target.
right.
Um,
And I'm sorry, I'm not going to go down without a fight. I'm not going to be one of those people that
no.
sits back and just lets said government just walk all over me. I fought for this country. I bled for this country.
You know, guys,
But
instead of pushing tonight, by the way, in Grim Green's chat, pushing like an emoji, so to speak, you can still do banana balls if you want, but can we just push hashtag unity? Push that a lot tonight because I think that is a severely important thing we need to focus on is as people are falling apart, focus on sticking together. We really need to stick together through this. And then in the end, we'll know where we're fighting. We'll know where to go. And I'm not going to give up. You won't see me go away. Lethal, you got a
well,
taste of how stubborn I can be with it.
I hate infighting. Hate it with a passion. Hate it so much. I've seen it tear people down. I've seen other people tear others down behind closed doors. I've seen it hurt somebody so bad that they stopped doing something they enjoyed because of it.
right.
We got
I
the UK right now. We're going to see some separation there as our legislation kicks in and the UK is still free. We're going to see a little collapse on that. I have a feeling that's coming. I don't think it'll happen all across the board, but there's going to be some collapse there.
There are gonna be some
Just be
people that have
prepared for that.
feelings.
Don't be shocked by it when it happens, because we are now, think about it like, what was it, South Africa or whatever, that they banned everything, or
Right.
one of those places. They
Somewhere
banned
around there.
everything. One of those countries, and we're gonna be that country where we are limited and they're not. And you're gonna see a little separation because they can still get everything, and they're gonna sometimes forget, and you're gonna have people that take offense to that. They're gonna be like, "Oh
Now,
yeah, did you get this?" And they're like, "Oh, that's right." And that's gonna, that tension's gonna be there because we're gonna
yeah.
be jealous
Well,
in some
that's
degree.
kind of a dick move to say something like that. Oh well, yeah.
But
Her
they
feelings
might
didn't.
not do it on purpose. It might be an absolute accident. Well, did you get that new Oh shoot, that's
Oh yeah,
right.
you're in the United States. I apologize.
Right.
Yeah.
There are going to be some hurt feelings out there, I'm sure.
Well, I got to talking with both Modmaker and Stealth Vape out of the UK. They do
Yep.
a lot of the DIY mod parts, and
Yep.
whenever I say a mod, like literally almost everything on here, buttons, 510, battery tube, all come from Stealth Vape.
Yep.
And they said we are not being affected with mod parts. We just can't sell full ends
That's
device.
just it. We don't even know about that. You might still be able to get your parts without an issue. We don't
Literally
know what
everything
level.
I've gotten lately has been marked as hobby parts.
Yeah, but even that, truth is, they are hobby parts until they become something. So it's, they're things you can use in other devices. A lot of them are. Even the
Right.
510 could be used for something else. So
Right.
it's not impossible.
They have flashlight adapters
They do.
for 510s.
But there's, that's the thing. We don't know what exactly is going to come out of this until it happens. And we might even
Right.
not see. They might try to push some things and it might fail. So we don't see. And by the way, bacon roll is real. Listen to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe.
Lee's here. I got to bounce. I'm kidding. It's not because Lee's here.
I
but
flooded. I
you
just
gotta
flooded
get out of
it.
here. I got to go eat
Take
some
her
dinner.
easy,
but
Lethal.
We are going to have to get going pretty soon because Grim Green is coming on. But
Yep.
I thank you guys. And yes, let's push that hashtag unity like in as many chats as you can, because this is something we really need to focus on sticking together still with. And we're going to see some people break apart. We've already seen it. I know Lethal. I have a feeling I know what you're talking about. A couple of them I've been seeing too. It's just something we got to deal with. We have a legend in chat here who has actually been pulling people together a lot lately. I've seen more of it lately, and thank you very much, Lee, for all you've been doing.
There's a reason he's a legend.
Dude, I had today our very own Matt Sinister. We were hanging out in Discord, and I was like talking to him, giving him those virtual hugs, and you hate to see a man down,
And he has been working so hard. I'm so proud of that man.
and pick him up, shared some of my past. I've been around the block a few times, and maybe around the city as well. Hopefully, some of it helps, and I know me when it's like, when I need to talk, and everybody knows me, when I need to talk, I don't shut up.
It's all
Right.
right.
But it's I need to talk. Like I need to talk about it. I
like
need
a
to
vent.
get it out. Yeah, I need to get it out. I need somebody to talk to, and like my wife is a good person that I talk to, but there are things that like she doesn't understand. She doesn't know, what have you, or it's just I want to talk to one of the guys. I don't want to talk to my wife about that. I want to talk to the guys about it.
Right.
We're full of dick and fart jokes off of everything. So
And
Well,
Can I just make a quick correction for Addy Tooney? Addy Tooney, that GoFundMe has since been shut down. He has reached $1,145, I want to say, but we shut that down a couple of weeks ago. I should have let you know about that.
Oh.
My bad.
And Lethal, make sure
Yep.
if you do get coils for sale, put them in that new channel I made. Make sure they're
Okay.
available to people. Let people know. I'm trying to make
Absolutely.
it so we have similar to you got kind of a thing going on yours. Logan has his and his, where people are trying to get places people can get stuff, because it's not going to be as easy. Let's try to make it as easy as possible for those people that just don't have that much access. Do what we can. Like I said, New York, I'll be taking trips to New York this summer to visit family. When I do, if anybody's on the way, they'll get what
You're going to be
need.
taking trips to Massachusetts to visit family too.
That's possible. It is a possibility.
Ban assistance is real.
Yeah, it is.
Anybody at any time, at any given point, you're in the Discord, hit me up on Instagram. It doesn't matter. I'd love to help. How can I help? If I can get it, I'm gonna get it, kind of thing. And I'll get it for you. Shoot me a PayPal, shoot me a Venmo, whatever the other new app is, Apple Cash, whatever, we can,
Bitcoin.
Some Bitcoin, shit, bro. I'll take some Bitcoin.
Jake, just so you know, you might become a lot more popular in the near future.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, I'm gonna say this before I go through my massive dead spot over here. Right. I now think of everybody in the vape community as my new battle buddies. What I want you to do is, if you think a battle buddy's having an issue, check in on them, make sure they're all right, make sure they're set. Yep. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here. You guys have a wonderful evening. I'll see you later.
Jake, see you later, buddy.
Give him a follow on IG. He makes some amazing works of art. Yeah, that said, we should actually start closing up because Grim Green's on soon. Lando, because I know you don't want me to screw up, and that's the main reason you came here tonight. I'm sure of it. I'll let you go first, bro.
All right. Me and Tim here do a podcast every other Saturday, so we'll be recording tonight. That's What in the Horror podcast. You can find it just about anywhere. We also started a Discord, so you can get to know us better if you don't already know us.
I'll be throwing that link in the chat.
Yep, we have a Twitter for updates. And if you got any movie suggestions, just email us at whatinthehorrorpodcast@gmail.com. And to find me, it's quite easy. Just go on Instagram and look up Lando.715.
All right, go ahead and pass it off on the other guys here.
I'll pass to the old man known as Lethal Coils.
The old man. You bastard.
I think Lethal's younger than me.
I think I am.
I'll be 45 in June. Where you at?
I'm at 40 in July.
Okay. Tim's the oldest. Tim's the oldest here, only by a few months.
Yep. There's a link. There's a link to What in the Horror podcast. The in chat right there.
Oh, right. So I guess you guys know where to find me on Instagram. If you don't know, then by we I mean myself, Matt Sinister, and my wife Chaos Pixie do a new podcast called Cloudy Days, Calm Nights that you can find on YouTube on the Lethal Coils channel, or if you so choose, you can go over to Spotify. We're over there as well. Outside of that, you guys can find me on Facebook and just keep an eye out for some coil posts because those are going to be coming. There we go. And that's all I got. So Lee, our Dick Insider, why don't you take it away?
Yeah. Thank you, Tim, for all that you do. Lethal, love hanging out with you. Lando, same thing. You find me on Instagram, not the real Joy Butler. I think it's all one word. It's been so long. I hadn't been posting a whole lot of stuff. I've been kind of quiet lately. Discord's been my home. You can find me on Rise and Vape. You can find me on the Yo-Yo Grim Green Discord if you're a patron. You can find me on Vape Stew. You can find me in Tim's Discord. I can never remember the name of it, but I always
break the stigma of unity.
Break the stigma. That's it. I think that's like the main ones that I'm usually in. Or DM me if you have Discord. You can DM me. It's not the real Dry Butler on Discord as well. Anything you need, any help, and you want to talk, you want to go it. There's almost 8 years worth of vape knowledge in this head. So if you got questions about vaping or, you know, what have
311.
you, 311
Exomes.
hexomes, you know, I mean, I'm down. Uh, Dude, you'd be surprised. I bought my first DNA 250C the other day, and it was too good
Ooh.
of a deal. It was too good of a deal. It was $100, and I couldn't pass that up.
That's what I paid for mine too.
And I was like, I can't pass it. I've never owned a DNA. I've owned a DNA 40, but never anything over that 40. And I was like, this might be the last opportunity I get to own one of these, so I'm gonna get it. And at that price,
it's a great chipset. It really is.
so I can't wait to play with eScribe with it.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's hard to make a choice though.
Right. Well, I have some ideas of what I'm gonna make some profiles for eScribe, and I'll probably share them out there because they're gonna be probably like Rise of Vape themed or Grim Green or Stew themed or something like that. I'll figure. Okay, yeah, they'll be shared. Don't worry, because I'm a nerd like that, and that's the kind of stuff.
Because
I
someone
like to do.
talked me into doing the Aegis thing too. I'm gonna be getting a couple Aegis skins for my Aegis.
Oh yeah, from Jay.
Yeah.
From Jasper? Hell yeah, dude. I get the ones. Did you see the one I got for Logan? The Rise and Vape one?
I did.
Yeah, dude. I snuck that one in on him.
That's
anyway.
pretty awesome.
So anyway, hit me up. I'm willing to talk open book pretty much. Some things I don't talk about, but some things I do. Most things I do. But I'm always willing to help anybody. However I can help, I'm there. Got your back. And like Jake was saying, you guys are all my brothers. We're in this war together. Right now we lost the small little battle, but the war isn't over. We just need to be patient. And also I'm fitting a lot of stuff in right now. I'm seeing a lot of people, I would say, almost buy ridiculous kind of thing, like buying a little too much online. I get there's great sales, I get the prices right, those kind of things, but I would hate to see you buy like 2 years worth of vape juice and then in 2 months everything goes back to normal, or there's a change, or there's something that happens and it's like you're stuck on 2 years of juice and you can get it anyway kind of thing. Yeah, you got the price right, but don't hurt yourself financially, and put yourself in a rut, especially right now, with the corona and all this stuff. And, you could lose your job tomorrow because they say, hey, we're just not making money and we're closing shop. And then you're stuck on that bill, so be careful, get a few months supply kind of thing. And then there's also local vape shops, or maybe not so quite local, but anyway. Go ahead, Tim. I'm gonna shut up now.
That's okay. Like I said, Grim Green's gonna be on for the special with Texas Mama for the Autism Awareness Month, and please be as generous as you can to him. That man doesn't just put up with things just for the vape community and try to help with the vape community itself. He's way beyond that. He's like a pillar for just trying to help people in general. He's a pillar for humanity. And I got to give him so much credit because he just deserves it. He really does.
Dude,
look he's on guys, next.
Look at the guys in the review game. And how many of them said, you know what? I'm going to bypass the reviewer money and I'm going to bypass the YouTube money or whatever. And I'm good. This is my stand and I'm going to do this. And there's not many. I mean, there's less than 5, I would say. You got Phil Brissato, Dimitri, Grim Green, and Matt that do advocacy-based things, or community, like hard community-based things. They do reviews too, but it's like you look at most of their stuff, it's about the community, and it's about vaping, and it's about everybody coming together.
Huge shout out to Logan. Logan and Alex
Logan too.
Logan and for doing the podcast that they started doing. That is so awesome because I felt like it wasn't enough voice for Kasa, true voice for Kasa, and I feel like this gave an actual real voice to Kasa. Danielle too for being promoted. That is awesome. And Tuesday Bro News Day, you'll be able to catch a little bit of that news. So
Yeah.
Yeah. That said, we got Grim Green coming up here in like less than 10 minutes. So I'll hit you up, guys, up with a nature walk again because I kind of enjoyed it. So I hope you guys do too. And then we'll see each other hopefully in chat. Remember hashtag unity. We got to push this because it's more than ever. We're going to see people starting to fall out. And maybe if we remind them, we can keep a few more on board to help us with this fight because it's far from over. We're going to win.
Right.
This isn't Vietnam. We're not going to pull out. We're going to finish this war. So
This is
We're
Sparta.
not going to pull out.
all right. Oh God.